super friends! For this week's Superhero Saturday, I thought we'd try something new. As you guys know, I'm an author and I've written a number of books and series in a universe of superheroes and super shenanigans and all sorts of stuff like that. I've always loved to write and come up with stories and do creative things like that. And as you might know from watching the other videos on this channel, I love sharing all of my secret formulas and my theories and my character building techniques because, I mean, I call it a secret formula, but it's really no secret because everybody uses all these different techniques. So for today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to design an entire superhero character from scratch. Now, of course, this isn't entirely from scratch. I have been thinking about some of these concepts a little bit over the last few months, and I'll get to that in a minute. But just as a kind of demonstration of what the creative process looks like, especially when you're someone who likes to do comic book style things, drawing and talking through and research and all of this that we're gonna see is all part of my process. So let's pull back the curtain, I guess. So before we get into it, I'd like to introduce you to some of my tools that I'm using. Of course, you can design anything from anywhere with pretty much any tools that you have at your disposal, but a lot of the other lovely YouTubers on the internet like to do like demonstrations and stuff of, you know, the tools that they use. So my computer is a Microsoft Surface Pro, I think 2. It's pretty old now, but it works really well because it's a touch screen interface and I can draw directly on the screen. There's also a snoring puppy dog over in the corner. Now the Surface Pro usually comes with its own stylus, but it's not very sensitive, so what I have is a Wacom bamboo stylus that works with pretty much any drawing program that you can use with either a PC or an iPad or whatever, and it has all of the stuff that you like out of bamboo. It's very sensitive, pointer and all of that. I'm also using a drawing program called Sketchable, so I'm just using the really basic tool for our kind of brainstorming session here today. I will say this, I'm not usually sitting at the desk when I do this kind of stuff. I'm usually on the couch watching some Minecraft video, so full disclosure. And we're gonna take off the keyboard because I don't need it anymore. Okay, so let's get started. So like I've said in I think a couple of different videos on this channel before, when you're designing a character, you can really start from anywhere. Anything from a name to a superpower to basically whatever. For this character that we're gonna be working on today, I remember my dad and I coming up with this concept, kind of brainstorming about it one day when we were out at Jerry's shopping for some kind of home improvement stuff. It was raining and it happened sometime in the last probably 6 months. I actually don't remember. Anyway, the concept that we came up with is this superhero called Power Curve. Me and my dad love to talk cars. I may not be the best driver in the world or know super duper much about, you know, types of cars and all that kind of stuff, but I really do love the whole art form of cars. And actually, come to think of it, I don't really know how to explain Power Curve. Let's do a little research here. Power Curve. Okay, so according to Wikipedia, and from what I vaguely remember from my conversations with my dad, a power curve is like a mathematical thing. That's a really good explanation. Power curve may refer to the power band of an internal combustion engine, that's our starting point, or the range of speeds in which it operates efficiently. If we're talking about, you know, fuel and input and speed and all of that kind of stuff, the point at which a car, for example, that has an internal combustion engine can go at the most efficient speed and rate for fuel consumption. So the idea behind Power Curve as a superhero was this idea that the faster this person goes, the stronger they are, the more invulnerable they are. So as long as they are going at some, you know, fast rate of speed, they have access to their superpowers, which could be like super strength and invulnerability and maybe even super speed. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna see if that works out. But when they're not going at the power curve, you know, point at which it's most efficient for their superpowers, they become essentially an ordinary person. My process usually involves a lot of sketching. And what we do is, you know, draw and draw and draw until some kind of like consistent pattern comes out of it. Power Curve as a superhero, and I'm gonna start out with it as a dude just because dudes are pretty easy to draw. So the idea is that this dude is a dude who's basically an ordinary dude. That was very explanative. Explanative? Oh gosh, I must be still sick. Actually, let's give him a superhero mask. Just for fun. The fun thing about doing digital artwork is that you can Control Z all you want. So let's give him some kind of like whooshy hairdo. You know what? Actually, we're gonna go full tilt on this. Mullet! So, Mr. Power Curve, let's go like this. Do some kind of curvy thing. And I like to have my superheroes fully dressed, so let's give him some gloves. What do you all think? Fingerless gloves? That sounds good. And we'll do some like stripe kind of things. That kind of business. Gosh, he looks like he's just in a snowboarding suit. Maybe we ought to look some stuff up before we get too far in here. Like, what do like Formula One racers drive in? Oh, they've got those like suit things that like, you know, I'm totally thinking Tony Stark in Iron Man 2, but you know, nobody has to know that. We've got a little bit of a beefier kind of suit here for him. Oh, and they probably wear something like this. So kind of the cool concept behind Power Curve that I thought was neat was, for example, if he has a secret identity. Obviously, since we've added this mask thing. Ooh, although some kind of like sunglasses would be cool. Yeah, let's do that. Because if this guy has a secret identity, then he would be completely vulnerable as soon as, or maybe a little bit after, he drops out of high speed. And then just to make things a little bit different, what my dad and I were thinking was maybe this guy could access his superpowers whenever he's going really fast. So as opposed to like a speedster, like the Flash or something, his speed isn't inherent in his superpower, like normal state. Maybe if he is able to, you know, like get in a really fast car, and as soon as the car goes really fast, his powers start to accumulate. And then when he, say, arrives on the scene of, you know, an incident, he can jump out of his cool car and be already powered up because he's fed on his way to get over here, which means he's breaking the law. We'll worry about that later. But when he gets to the scene, he's got his full set of powers ready to go because he's been going fast. One of the ideas that my dad thought was, like, if he were to, like, be tied up by a supervillain and he's not really able to go anywhere fast, how might he escape? Well, maybe if it was in some kind of like really tall building, he could throw himself out the window, and when gaining speed as he goes down, falling toward the ground, ready to die, his superpowers build up, and then he's able to access those and break free and be able to hit the ground and not die. So I honestly don't know what these guys' shoes look like. Let's do a little bit more research. Okay, so it looks like a lot of them have just suits. Look at all of these suits. Ooh, look at this guy right here. I like that. Maybe we could do something with that. And then the shoes, they're just high tops. Yeah, in a racing suit. Yeah, and they have the bands on the side, fire retardant stuff, cuffs, and then the neck thing that like velcros around. Okay, so these guys have lots of little shoulder things. Maybe we could get that worked in here somewhere. Let's do some high tops in here. Maybe we could give him like some facial hair going on here. Goatee and a mustache? Maybe. I know beards are kind of in fashion right now. We'll leave it like that, but I might simplify it because it's hard to draw that over and over and over again. Let's see if we can do some like curves on the side here. And then, well, most of them don't really have anything else on that going on. They're usually pretty flat. I mean, all of this flame retardant material, which would actually be really helpful in superheroic situations. Like if he was going really fast into a burning building, hey, look, you already got fire retardant clothing on. So we've kind of got the basis of this guy right here. I know all the proportions are kind of wrong, but that's why this is an early sketch. Maybe we could do like pockets? Do they have pockets? Probably not usually, but I just kind of want to follow that like motif of the square little bits around it. And that probably wouldn't actually be showing from that perspective. Okay, cool. And then we've got the little stripe on his chest for like the power curve, because if you look over here, we've got the power curve thing like here. So we're looking at this kind of shape right here if this was a graph. So I really like when a superhero has a really cool logo, and I actually spend way too much time trying to work these out, but we're gonna keep it simple today. Power curve. A lot of good superhero logos usually just use like the first letter of the superhero name or the first couple of letters.
What does that stand for?
For sitter. Yeah, sitter. Originally, I was going to have initials for babysitter, but then I would have been going around wearing a big BS.
Maybe we could do some kind of like graph shape. Like that? Then it looks like LC. No, okay. A lot of times people associate speed with lightning, so maybe something like that. Do a little AC/DC action. Maybe in a circle. A lot of car things are in circles. Oh my gosh, his waist is totally in the wrong place. Sorry, this is gonna bug me. A lot of car emblems and logos and stuff have this like circle bit around them. Like if you look at Ford or Toyota, and a lot of these guys have their like company emblem right up front, which makes a lot of sense for us because he's a superhero, so that's what superheroes do too. I'm gonna do a little bit around there, and just a big C. And yes, that looks super sketchy. And while we're at it, we're gonna give him a really cool car. Forgive me, I actually do not know how to draw cars very well, so we're gonna kind of just wing it here. And obviously he needs a really cool muscle car. And we'll give him a vanity plate. Need for speed. Now that he's standing by his signature ride. Ooh, oh, we're gonna go way over the top with this guy. Sometimes it's better to go way over the top because it's a lot easier to rein something back than make it even more extreme. And the more extreme that you get out there, the easier and the quicker it is for your audience to recognize what's going on. Then you can skip like cheesy characterization and stuff like that. But we're gonna give him some big fat road tires right here. And we'll assume that that's out of the frame. And we'll say he's got tinted windows because he's cool like that. And he's above the law. There we go, we've got our basic character concept. Oh, except one thing, colors! So what colors do we want to give this guy? I don't know about y'all, but I think I'm seeing a lot of teal and what? Like yellow and orange? Is that crazy? No, I dig that. We got a little bit of a vintage vibe on this guy, so I think that we're gonna stick with those colors. So let's do his suit in yellow. There's not a lot of yellow superheroes. What do we have? We've got Kid Flash. Honestly, that's all I can think of right now. What are our other yellow themed superheroes? We've got lots of accents with yellow. So we've got this cool like split costume outfit. I kind of dig the white with it. I like the white shoes, but I think that's just because we were looking at all of that other stuff. But let's try orange around here. Ooh, yeah, orange shoes. That's gonna be it. Oh, we actually already have well, the start of a secret identity name for him. There's some guy somewhere, I don't remember where, but my mom told me that this was some person's real actual name, and I wrote it down, and it fits perfectly with this character. Pete Kletchikowski. That is someone's legitimate name. You know that thing that they always put at the beginning of the books, me included, that says like, this is a work of fiction and is not meant to be reflective of anything in real life or something like that? That's basically what this is. I steal from real life all the time. I don't know about Pete though. I usually like to do the Stan Lee thing and make the first letter of the first and last name of the secret identity match. Because you know we've got Haley Hendricks, we've got Kara Kostopoulos, we've got Chris Cannonball Cooper. Basically, if you're reading one of my books and a character has the same letter for their first name and last name, you can probably bet they're a superhero. How about, what are dude names with K? I just want to say Cooper now because that's my guy. Or K, hard K. Klaus? Nope, I don't like that. This is the hard part. We've got his last name. Now all I can think is Kate Kletchikowski. That's kind of cool. I wonder if we turn this into a chick. I kind of dig the whole like 80s vibe that we've got going on, the 80s speed racer driver kind of thing that it's got here, but maybe it would be better as a chick. This is the whole creative process. And for me personally, I know there's way too many like white male superheroes out there. We've got enough of those. Let's see some other stories already, because your girl's bored. It's actually pretty easy to turn a dude into a chick because it's not actually all that different. And basically all we're gonna do is take off the beard. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Beard and the mustache. Oh yeah, this is neat. We got a little Captain Marvel smirk action going on here. I kind of like having her like tall and skinny like this too. This is working for me. Although the arms are definitely way too long in this SketchUp, so that's okay. The teal is driving me nuts now. This is one of my favorite colors, but I don't know. Maybe we need it to be a little bit more blue. Oops, I don't know, folks. What do you think? I'm just gonna go from the last name. Maybe let's just do some like dirty blonde color hair, maybe? I dig that. We'll give her some teal sunglasses? No, we like the orange as the accent, so let's do orange. Ugh, I'm not a fan of that. What we really want are those mirror sunglasses. Maybe we can do like blue. I might be getting to too many colors here. I don't know. We're just gonna keep going with it until something happens. Okay, that works. We'll use that for the color scheme. And we'll go a little bit of glossy hair, like she uses a lot of gel for her hair. Skin color, we're gonna go on the pink side because it's kind of a blonde person. Oop, nope, we're not. That's not good. Okay. There we go. And then to make a lip color, we usually just go down into this kind of range right here and color it in. All right, I'm digging that. Whoops. Hands are also a thing too. Kate Klutchikowski, aka Power Curve. I like orange, so I'm gonna give you an orange car, because the car has got to be a big part. I don't know if you all noticed, but like, if you've read my books, you know that most of the main characters all have very distinctive cars, and that's going to be true for the entire Fearless 9 series, I believe. Maybe save for one or two characters. And then maybe we can like reverse curve this. No. Oh, I want it to match her costume, but I like the orange car. It's okay. So we're gonna, ooh, what if we did a yellow curve? And then we'll have teal on the bottom half? No. We'll do teal on the top half. Oh yeah, dog, this is looking awesome. Okay, I'm thinking we're just about there. All right. Oh, we didn't even color in the logo. Annie! We're gonna do the C and the P, and the lightning bolt is gonna be orange? Why? That makes no sense. Maybe I've got this backwards. Or what if we did that there and that there? Then it kind of gets our flip-flop on the costume. Nope, I don't like it. Okay, we're going back. Yeah, maybe we do have this wrong. I like the yellow costume color with the orange, but maybe it should be like the car here with the stripe different. Let's try it, and if it doesn't work, we can always go back. Oh yeah, I think this is actually gonna work better. So, I still don't like it. Okay, well, we're just gonna be silly like that then. Let's try the car yellow. I hate yellow on cars, actually. Most times it's just really not, why am I doing this? Most times it's just really not worth it because the yellow just way overpowers everything and it's not the best color. Okay, I can dig this. Yeah, I can dig that. So then for reference sake, we're gonna go over here and remind us that this is what the logo looks like. There we go. Oh, I dig it. I don't want to use too many colors. I know whenever I build characters, I like to advise that you keep the color scheme to a minimum, although if you look at mine, I usually have like way too much color to begin with. Anyway, but that'll be all the accent colors. So maybe we can do blue cuffs. I think it's too many colors. We'll just use it for the logo and that's it. Then if she has any like tools or anything in her arsenal, which I don't imagine she would unless like, you know, extra oil for your car, she can use that in that color. So now we're saving everything that we've just done and we're gonna do a new layer and we're gonna start all over again because now we know a little bit more about what we want to do. Let's actually start off with a car. I think this is a Challenger that I'm looking at. Ooh, that's definitely kind of what I was thinking. Alright, so let's use one of these as a model. This one would probably work, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this picture from the internet. And y'all have seen me do this before on other things. We just kind of set it where we want it. We make it pretty transparent. And we add a layer on top to draw the outline on. It's a rough sketch, so we're just going to follow along. Oh, this totally doesn't have the engine sticking out. That's okay. Maybe it pops out when it's not being incognito. And it does have this scoop right here, so that's cool. And again, really, really simple sketch, so we're not gonna worry too much. Oh yeah, baby. And we'll give it a big old fin in the back. And then we'll get some tires going here. And see the brakes, calipers just showing through there because that's what the cool kids use. Then all we do is we turn that off and we have sort of the outline of a car. Let's go ahead and do kind of a bigger outline that's a little bit smoother. The large outline is good for differentiating a subject from the background. But if we smooth out the edges here, then it can look a little bit more like, you know, polished and stuff. Whoops. Straight lines, Annie, straight lines. Big old spoiler. We got ourselves a sweet ride / power source for our superhero. Now let's draw the hero. We're gonna do kind of the cool classic arm cross thing, which is really hard to draw, but a really cool position to be in. I usually don't draw people feet up, but I kind of wanted to make sure she fit in the size of this shot here. I think that'd be right. She's a tall chick, tall skinny chick. Kind of got this going on right here. We got her slick back hair. And then what we do is we just turn this nice and quiet, and then we draw over the top of it a little bit better. Well, let's actually add in some more detail here. We'll give her some really big sunglasses for here. Although that's not really made for speed. Let's try that again. Control Z. I'm gonna give her a pointy nose, kind of a little pointy nose. And we got that Carol Danvers smirk going on here because she knows she's real cool. And then we gotta get this like racing jumpsuit thing going on. I think her shoulders are actually a little high here. Logo here and then the curve across the front here. This position won't actually show off too much of her costume, but that's okay. This is, yep. And see, this is why I usually draw top down because my proportions get all crazy over the place. So we're actually gonna need to pull the knees down, like way down here, if we're gonna do super tall, super skinny chicks. So we're gonna go like that and then add in feet like that. That makes a lot more sense. Except for the fact that now she's too big for the car. Well, maybe she's not. Maybe not. We could go like that. Yeah, we could go like that. Okay, so we're gonna pull her off to the side here because this is digital art and we have flexibility for days. And we'll go to the new layer and sketch over the top. I almost think her hair is a little bit too big here, so we're gonna cut it down just a smidge. I'm gonna do kind of a narrow face here, so the chin is gonna stay pretty small to make way for the smirky smile. There we go. Katie Kluchikowski, you are one cool racing chick. I still don't like it. Okay, well, this is what happens. We'll draw it over and over again, and it'll be okay. There we go. Got the triangle bits that aren't really triangles, but that's what I just called it, so. Power curve. It'll work. I know this still isn't great, but that's not the point. I'm gonna bump out her hip here and give her pockets because every female superhero needs pockets. I'm just putting it out there. And that's totally wrong, but we're gonna go with it for now because she needs her high top racing shoes. Well, that just kind of looks like an astronaut, but we're gonna go with it. Nope, that's not how knees work. That's not how knees work. Control Z! Ooh, okay. So her leg looks a little funky there. Or actually both legs look a little funky there. Seriously, guys, I love Control Z. Yeah, I think I dig this chick. We're gonna do the same thing as we did with the Hellcat. We're gonna go ahead and do a thicker outside line to differentiate her from the background. See how that worked? Oh yeah. Okay, so now let's take this guy who's actually a chick, and lay her over the top here. Or right here. Nope. I'm thinking right here. Right back behind. And actually a little bit smaller there. Gosh, her feet look tiny. It's her hair. Her hair is just giant, so we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna hide this for now. We're gonna add a layer and color her in, and then we'll go back and do the car. And this is digital art, so we can scribble all day long and be just fine. Oh yeah, a little Janeway kind of style. So we've got the orange on the stripe. Did I have an orange belt? I don't remember now. So while we're doing the finishing touches here on her secret identity, let's talk a little bit about her other identity, her real life identity. Who is Kate Kluchikowski? Obviously, I think that I would like her to be in some kind of automotive field. Like, she didn't just randomly start driving a Hellcat around and fighting bad guys. So what does she do? Maybe she used to be some kind of racing driver and something happened. She got her superpowers, perhaps, and now she's not allowed to race anymore? I don't know why, but I really like that kind of like character conflict where like the superhero can't do what they love, and that's why they have their own outlet in superheroing. Maybe she wasn't a driver. Maybe she wanted to be a driver. Maybe she's like a mechanic and she worked on Formula One cars and then something happened. Maybe like something like Tony Stark. Someone tried to soup up some kind of car and cheated it through the system, because they have all sorts of regulations and stuff when it comes to what is and is not allowed in these races. And something happened, car crashed, she exploded, got superpowers. I like it. So maybe she did. Maybe she was in the pit crew and then got her first chance to drive in an actual race, and someone did something with some really weird experimental chemicals, and she ended up being the guinea pig for that without knowing, and that's how she got her powers. Okay, and then I'm just gonna make up a new color for, well, first off, her eyebrow is really light. Oh yeah, that's good, that's good. So we've got her backstory for how she got her superpowers. And remember, this is all mad science, so it doesn't have to actually make sense. A lot of stuff that I do, you just kind of have to say, IDK how it works, just go with it for a while. And see, now I don't have to color underneath there because that's already taken care of. And draw straight lines. It must go across the side here, I'm thinking. We'll kind of go on the edge here and across the top of the car like that, maybe? And I'm gonna have to clean up anyway. That's usually how I roll, so. The only reason I changed that yellow color was so that I could see it a little bit better. Oh yeah, I dig these colors. I do. All right. I hate that second color. Good gravy. What is this, like the second grill? I'm gonna have to ask my dad. Yeah, I like that. Oh, you know what I don't like? I don't like that shading that we just did. And then because this Kate Kluchikowski is so cool, she's gonna have bright teal, bright calipers. Or do we do yellow? There's a lot more yellow calipers out there. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better, okay. And now we're gonna do some polishing down here. And we're just gonna give it a stupid, simple background. Sweep, blue sky, light blue, fluffy clouds, please. That does not look right. Let's just do white. Some gentle shading. There we go. And we'll do just some quick shading. I'll show you all how this works for me, is we just literally take a new layer and we put it down to like 50%. And then we take black and shade the crap out of it. So let's go. Where's the light coming from here? We'll see. Again, I really don't know. I haven't drawn too many cars. So we'll try some things and see what works. If it doesn't work, it's okay. That kind of works. Let's kind of just make this like that. Yeah, I like that better. I don't want to overdo it, so I think I'm going to just stick with that. Okay, and that's the car done. And then, since it's just still overall the same layer, we're just going to go right ahead and not even change anything, just skip right over to shading for our superhero. And this is really the easiest way to shade. It's not the best way to shade, in my opinion. I'm starting to learn a little bit better ways, but it is definitely the simplest, the quickest, the most efficient. Okay, and then for fun, we're gonna add one more layer over the top here. Power Curve logo, nice and big. The cool thing about digital art like this is that you can use these neat little guidelines to help you make automatically perfect shapes and sizes. There we go. And then I'm gonna freeform some letters, guys. So at this point, we're just gonna go with it. Yep, that looks good. Okay. And actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make these a little bit more stylistic. But this gives it just a little bit more dimension. Boop, 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 boop. How's that? A lot better. I'm gonna change the colors around just a little bit for this section here, and you'll see why in a second. Now it looks very like the Ford logo. My dad will be happy. There we go. And the last little bit. Gonna frame this bad boy out in black. Call it good. Let's fill it out. That's how you make a quick frame. And there you have it. Power Curve, aka Kate Kleczykowski. I don't know where on earth I'm gonna use it because Power Curve is definitely not a member of the Fearless 9. Maybe it's gonna be another superhero who's in the Fearless 9 universe who's not part of our team, or a fictional character that someone makes up inside the universe. Who knows? All I know is this is what we've got started, and it's a lot more polished than when we first got started with like me and my dad just brainstorming and riffing off of each other in the Jerry's parking lot. I hope you enjoyed this video today, Super Friends, and we'll see you next week.